Ever finished right outside the top 10. What if,
That's kind.
well, all right. What,
You're a good guy, Adam.
thank you. What, if any lessons were there to be learned about the second half of the season for you guys?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I think the one thing you learn is, hey, Brett.
The GOAT.
How you
Good
doing,
to
buddy?
see you, man.
Yeah. Not a goat right now.
We'll catch you up
Feel
sometime.
like a mouse. I just think you gotta have everyone ready to go. It's real important that you have 20, 25 guys ready to wrestle, down to weight, ready to wrestle, and knowing that, and I've known this, you know, you just sometimes you miss a few beats in practice, and you let somebody drift away a little bit, and when you do that, it comes back to maybe haunt you a little bit. And so, you know, you think about guys like Montalvo, if we would have got the surgery when he hurt his knee, he could have been in the lineup, right? Instead, we decided to see if he could heal up without a surgery, and knowing that's a big risk, and you don't take those risks. You know, we made a mistake. We probably should have had him in surgery long before he had the surgery. Just things like that, you know, and just preparation and recognizing that it's not just a season, it's the year. You know, what we're doing right now, coming back off of finishing 14th, I mean, you know, it's way different than when you have a good year. You know, it's just different things. I mean, there's things that we got to get done. There's things that we got to mend up. You know, I think I've been in Gallagher Arena in the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday today. I mean, I think I've spent 12-hour days here. You know, just making, cleaning things up and meetings after meetings, and just, being self-aware of that. It's not where we want to be, and for that reason, these next 4 months for me is going to be real important. That we clean a lot of things up, right, and we get people's attitudes back in the right place. You know, I mean, I think we all feel the pain of not performing like we hoped to perform. I think that. And when you feel that pain, sometimes your chin drops. We can't let chins drop right now. We need to keep heads high, and we need to be the program that we're capable of being.
In terms of thinking, the year, essentially next year started Sunday effectively. I mean, have you started thinking about is there anything different you do, whether it's training or weightlifting or anything like that, at least over these next few months to start the season?
I think it's real important. We need to do a better job of working on relationships with each other and with athletes, and that's where it starts. And not that there was a problem with it. It just, let's do better. Relationships are important. People believing in you is important. And when you have confidence in each other, then results normally happen. And so I'm not saying that we were fractured by any reason. I think we had some situations that occurred during the season that seemed to, punch us, and maybe we didn't recover from them quick enough, and moaned around, pissed. Careful what I say. Just kind of didn't approach it, and you don't have a day to sit around and pout. You got to get up and go, and maybe we took those punches a little bit too long to recover from.
So, Coach, would you say that depth kind of somewhat became, you said you really want to have like 20 to 25 wrestlers ready to wrestle. So would you say in kind of the second half of the season with injuries and just a lot of adversity, depth became an issue for the squad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. because of injuries.
Right.
You got to look at guys like Gavin Sticka. He's not a 97 pounder; he's an 84 pounder, right? And you just in today's age and how competitive it is, you can't bump someone up and and put them in a position to have success. I have a lot of respect for Gavin. He didn't have to do that. He did, and he was injured because of the weight, the difference, and he wrestled through an injury the second half of the season, and so what a great kid. I think you've heard me say this over and over again.
Yeah.
This guy is an unbelievable young man. He needs to meet one of my daughters.
With where you guys finished and with the Big 12 or with the national championships being in Tulsa next year, does that make next year kind of all the more important that you go defend kind of home turf up there?
I can't even think of that far along. I think I'm really excited about the fact that where wrestling is right now. Our NWCA is incredible what they've done. Over 300 programs since the year started. 300 new programs since the year of year 2000. It's just incredible. A lot of good things and positive things are happening. And one of those positives is the NCAA championships being at Tulsa. Those guys work really hard over there. Our staff has worked hard. We had a lot of people that went up to Detroit that saw some of the things that they were doing, and I think that next year's NCAA championship might be the best one ever. To tell you the truth, I think that Tulsa's ready, and they're serious about it. They made a big commitment to the Big 12 championship, and with that. They were awarded the national championship because of that effort. So we're excited.
What were the atmospheres like at Big 12 and then at the NCAA's?
What was what?
The atmospheres, like the stadium, the fans, and everything there.
Well, we didn't hear enough. I think the Big 12. We had our moments. It's pretty. The Nationals, we had our moments. The last day was a tough day for us, but I thought Thursday and Friday that we competed well. We needed a couple situations that we needed to wrestle through. And I think it could have made a little bit of a difference in the outcome, but it is what it is. The atmosphere, I didn't really pay close attention to it, but I'm sure it was good.
Throughout this past season, there was several guys kind of throughout the lineup where wrestling on bottom was a struggle. What can they do? What do you want them to do to
get up?
The next?
Get up.
but how? What do they do? Is it just getting stronger? Is it will? Like, what do they work on?
I think we made mistakes. We made a mistake this year of underestimating it, and our skill sets were really we struggled a little bit. But remember, it was with a lot of young people. The people that were young struggled with getting off bottom, and that's always it's always been a challenge when early on in guys' careers to build that confidence on bottom, and so in the end it cost us a whole lot of matches. In the Big 12, the NCAA championship, us struggling on bottom cost us a lot of wins. We would have won matches, you think of Carter's match, first round, it ended up, what he ended up, 4th or 5th, Morgan State.
Oh, yeah.
What do you end up?
Up there,
I think he finished
4th or 5th, I don't know exactly what.
But, you get off bottom, you win that match. I think that particular match that day, he and I can tell you in a lot of situations, that I want to say between the Big 12 and the NCAA championship probably cost us six wins that we could have won. We would have won. I believe that. We got to correct it, right? I mean, and it's with skill. You know, it's skill, determination, and level of confidence you just have to have when you go down.
Is that then just training in the room, or?
Yeah, it's training. It's
Okay.
learning. It's
Okay.
it's teaching. I gotta have some skill sets to get off bottom. You know, I need to recognize, you know, that my tripod and things like that. I need to do the inside stand-ups. You know, add the grappling to it. You know, when I say grappling, side rows, switches, set out turn-ins. You know, things that historically have been real successful over hundreds of years, 100 years anyway. You know.
Coach, Coach, you talk about the youth. You know, you've talked about the youth of the team a lot this year. You talked about the youth of the team a lot this year. Do you feel like Do you feel like there was enough gained with some of those younger guys?
Enough what?
Enough gained, just like from the beginning of the season to just kind of move forward.
Experience.
Not really.
I think the
that, just-
experience, right? I think, you know, you don't normally, a lot of times you don't see the gain right away. You know, you see the experience. They wake up and go on, you know, hey, this is a little tougher than I thought. You know, I get what Coach means by me being a little tougher, you know. And so, you know, it's like anything, you know. You got a year of experience, you know what the season's like, you know that week in and week out, you could go 5 weeks in a row, you know, wrestling somebody that's good and tough. I need to keep my mind stable, and I need to keep my attitude stable, and I need to keep my weight stable, and a lot of responsibility. I think that experience really helps the young guys understand that there's a responsibility that you have to have outside of what coach is always preaching, you know, and that's the good thing. You know, you need to get better. You had an experience, and whether it was good or whether it was negative, you know, learn from the experience and grow from it.
With the COVID year, you have some guys that have decisions to make whether they're coming back or not. What kind of conversations do you have with those guys?
Well, you know, it's a challenging one, I tell you that. You know, some of those guys, like Harris, didn't start this year. You know, and Wyatt and G. Feller would be the other two. You know, and so you know, I think it's a process of you know, I treat them like, you know, that this is your last year. You know, you don't want to. You just when you think in terms of it being your last year, you know, you're going to lay everything out there. You know, and then all of a sudden coming back and, hey, can you give us one more year? You know, I think it takes some time and some processing to decide whether it's the best thing for him.
Obviously, it's a little different for G, because he's also got a little one that he's expected soon. And I know he's kind of insinuated that this is likely his last year because he's got to start thinking about family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah, I think we could. If you would want to come back, I think he can be in a good situation. You know, it's not going to. It's going to be a plus for his family, not a negative. So we'll see how that works out. You know, so. You know, 6 years in college it's a grind for G. Feller. You know, he's only wrestled 2 seasons, so maybe there's some hope for him to come back.
At those weights, considering, at least with Dakota, you know definitively that he doesn't have another year, and then those other 2 possibly. At those weights, what do you want to see over the next 7 months with their backups to where you're going to feel a little bit better come October?
And what weights are you talking about? 41, 49, 84?
Oh, 49, 57, and 84.
Yeah, 49, 57, 84. Yeah. Got some good people coming in, and we got some good people in the room, you know. So, Maltavo, Haas, 84, pretty solid couple guys there, you know. And so I think, you know, if we end up with new faces in the lineup at those weight classes, I think we're going to be in good shape.
For the most part, you've developed within the room, haven't really gone to the transfer portal that much except for, I guess, Dakota. Do you expect that to change? Do you look in the portal more this offseason? What are your kind of thoughts on that?
You know, portal's a joke. You do know that, right? It's an out. You know? So, but yeah, you gotta be looking at the portal. You know? It's created an environment that is a little bit toxic. You know, but it's part of our life now, you know. So, absolutely, you got to look at it.
You know, like attendance and at Bedlam and some bigger duels, there's been decent attendance. You know, I mean, what do you think the program can do to get more like consistent attendance throughout the year?
I thought our attendance was good this year, you know, for who we are. Definitely, people aren't used to seeing us lose. You know, that don't help anything, right? There's a couple of times I didn't want to come to the duel, you know. But it takes energy, right? I mean, it's energy, you know, and it's. People gotta, you know, I mean, people gotta give energy, right? And you can't just rely on your staff and what you have. I mean, you gotta rely on your promotions office, your people that are in charge, you know. I mean, you gotta promote, you know, and you gotta keep promoting, you know. And listen, we have a great coach that we just hired in women's basketball. You know, we got a great men's basketball coach with a program that's coming back next year and being able to participate in everything, you know. But you also got a wrestling program you can't forget about. Yeah, I mean, it takes energy. People got to work. You know, it takes all of us to make for a you know, to maintain a legacy that we have. It takes everyone. Listen, it's not just, you know, a couple coaches and you know, that's running around doing some speeches in town. You know, it takes a team, right? And everyone's got to be on the team. And that's who we are. You know, and so you can't. You got to work, man. You got to work when you have a strong legacy in the sport. You got to work. You can't just lay around. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because it just by fault. It doesn't happen because you're just good. It happens because you work. You work at it. You know, and it means everybody's got to work at it, and everybody's got to be on your team. You know. I'm probably, you know, there may be a lot of people that don't care for me in this department. I don't know, you know, and but it doesn't really matter. You know, you still got to work. You know, so.
I mean, I know, like Caden after Bedlam said, he wishes the crowd would show up like that. I mean, how important is it to have that support in crowd and everybody kind of gather around the team and like at Bedlam when it was a tight duel?
Yeah, it's always nice to have big crowds. You know. It's always a plus, you know. That's what these guys, you know, hope and dream of in wrestling and men's. I mean, in all of our sports, all of our athletes want to be able to show off in front of large crowds. You know, that's what they come to school for. You know, and again, I thought we had pretty good attendance this year, and I just want to see. I want to see people. I want to see more people working for wrestling. Period.
Any other questions?
Obviously, we haven't talked about AJ in a while. How's his rehab coming along, and what kind of your hope for him during this off season?
Well, I think he's recovering right now, and it's going to be some time before he's up and going. And so, just we're in that period of time where, hey Chris, we're in that period of time where rest is important. You know, it's no time to. We're not in a time where we're going to start lifting or rehabbing so much, but I think right now it's just a matter of him resting and healing up, and time's on our side, right? I mean, we've got plenty of time to help him get back to 100%.
I have a question for him.
Yeah.
You know, he thinks that he can beat me in one-on-one basketball.
Mhm.
Wouldn't you guys want to see that?
Yeah.
Don't you guys want to? Don't you think that this is
Let's do
something
it.
that we need to
Pay-per-view,
see?
actually.
Pay-per-view?
I don't think so.
Pay-per-view.
Okay, yeah.
Like he's been telling me for a
Pay-per-
while, so I think
pay-per-view
we
on
gotta like push the
O'Connell
envelope
TV.
here. I don't mean to interrupt, but I think this is something you guys would
OSU
want to know
Max.
about.
You know Kenny G. You need to go Kenny G and wrestle him.
No, see, that's like there's some people here that have a little bit more experience.
He just said
You got too good of a jump shot, coach?
I'm an
I
athlete.
can't beat him in
Is he
wrestling.
not?
But
We'll have the game, and I will win.
you heard that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm counting on you guys to set this up.
All right, let's do it.
I got to heal up a little bit, man.
Oh, see? Yeah, we'll win. Now I gotta heal up. Okay. All
I
right.
don't want. Here's what's the true story is.
Yeah,
I'm
let's hear the
avoiding
truth.
it a little bit because I need him to have confidence in his team and himself right now. You know, what are they? 10-1, 11-1,
11-2.
11-2. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the best start you've had since you've been here, isn't it?
Oh no,
No.
It's not.
no.
You've had better.
Yeah.
Good.
We played for a national championship.
Well, I know that, but I mean, it's not like. You know,
Yeah.
Have you had an undefeated season?
No. Not like you.
I didn't have one. We lost 4 matches and we think the building's caving in on us.
That's why we better go play basketball before it does.
Might change the name if we don't start winning.
All right, I just had to give him all the time.
Appreciate you,
So
coach.
you guys gotta set it up. I'm counting on you guys. I need that confidence. It's
Yeah.
gonna go the opposite.
Anyway, anything else?
Well, yeah, so, obviously, when you guys are at full strength, how close are you, do you think, how close are you to the number of semifinalists or finalists you think you need for an NCAA tournament?
It just
Or NCAA title?
To win?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good question. Keep throwing me good questions.
That's my
I
job.
don't know if you go into that right now. I mean, it's just, I think we've seen a little bit of a separation from the Big Ten and us, and for that reason, it takes everybody now. Ain't no jacking around. I mean, it takes everything. It takes everybody. I mean, I've made some mistakes, and I'll personally be responsible for them. That I've kind of allowed some things that probably shouldn't have happen, and my fault. It's not anyone else's fault. It's my fault, and those are the things I need to correct in the next 3 to 4 months. I need to get some things going in the right direction, and it's not so much. Listen, I got a lot of support from Chad Weinberg. Has been there for us all year long. It's not anyone's. It's not that side. It's our side of it. And just can't say no. I can't hear any more no's.
From what, like your record?
Just anything, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're Oklahoma State wrestling. I can't hear no's. I'm not a guy that I'm a real simple person, And I don't, but I can't have any more no's. You know, I got to have yeses. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go do this. You know, and so whether that means can mean a lot of things. You know, and so I don't know. I think years like this helps you really reevaluate things. And for me, I'm going to be real busy in the next 4 months. I got a lot of things I need to get done.
Like what?
Just we need to think about NILs. We need to think about, you know, what direction we can go in that. You know, I'm seeing some things. I mean, it's not something I'm behind in it. I should, you know, I avoided it. I didn't like it. You know, and hey, it's here. Listen, it's not going to change. You know, change. I've seen change for 30 years. You know, and I've done a pretty good job. The things I didn't like, you just recognize it. Don't matter if you like it or not. It's changing. You know, and so you got to be ahead of it a little bit. I'm behind it. You know, it's my fault. And so the portal, everything, you know, a lot of things, you know, attendance, we need to increase it, right? Awareness, we need to increase it. We need to build attitudes and have people excited, you know, and so I'm excited about where I'm headed in the first 3 days after getting back.
Coach,
I feel like I'm going in the direction I need to be going in.
So, last year, I remember that you mentioned something about like how you guys were in talks about women's wrestling. Has that increased at all? Has it dropped off? What's the status of it?
It's there.
It's there?
It's there. Yeah, it's there. You know, it's going to be. It remains a priority for me. You know, and hopefully our administration. You can't do everything.
Right.
Right.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.